Let's see how long we can go till TPK. Because that is fast approaching. Collector Edwin! Ah, Edwin Odesiron. Cool, we would have had you. We wouldn't have had you, we could never have you, but we could have had you fight like your mirror thing. Crit, wow. Uh-oh. Fuck. Well, that's the next one. Yeah, I just want them all to die now. So will we make it through routes? I think it's 108 that we're in. I should, by the way, update the roster, so... Boom! Dead! Boom! Dead! Boom! Dead! And last one, boom. Oh no, wait, that's still alive. Boom, dead. There we go. Isekai Reincarnation, go! So back at it again. This time we played once again as a boy. Now going by the name of Silf with 2 S's. I'll let you guess what the extra S stands for. So we get our pick of the starters, and to make this fair and randomized once again, we will roll dice for it. 1 to 2 Trico, 3 to 4 Chikorita, or the Fire Chick, and 5 to 6 Mudskip. We roll, and it turns out to be a 6 Mudskip. Joy. We do the fight and give him a new nickname, and since he has that epic mohawk, I figure Kip T is a good nickname for this one. We make our way to Route 103, where of course May wants to fight us like the psychopath that she is. And so we bring him out, do a lot of tackling, and whoop Trico's ass. Sorry there, boy, we miss you. But now it's time for the T-Force to strike! After that we get back to Route 101, where May tries to do the whole sneaking and, well, kind of guides us to our first Pokemon. However, judging by the look of the thing, we're already presented with a bloody Zigzagoon. I did not want a Zigzagoon, so I ran away. What we did get from our first catch in the wild rural grasses was another Wurmple. Good to see that repeated. So we quickly smashed, grabbed it, and we nicknamed this one in honor of our last final survivor, Butter, but his face. This time we get the gender correctly, haha! Next up, Route 103, where we wander out and we find ourselves facing off against our first Poochyena! A Pokemon I like very much. Female Poochyena, we once again smash it, grab it, and call this one Boss Bitch. Very appropriate. I had plans for this one. Last for our core team, Route 102, we spotted a C-Dot, or what had to be a C-Dot. And since, well, Hard Nut served us well in the last incarnation, I figure we grab another one of these when we have the chance. So, smash, grab. And since this was a lady C-Dot, I decided to call this one She-Nut. Yes, intimidating. Appropriate. Next came the level grinding, and I grinded my entire team back up to level 7, which I felt was appropriate level for this point, which also meant that Patty's face would be evolving, and it was quite a surprise to see what he would evolve into, because as I said before, it could be a Cascon or it could be a Silcon. It turned out that Patty's face would be a Silcon, which meant that it would turn into a beauty face, just like Butterface before it. Next up, Route 104, where we once again see a wiggling one, so we sneak up on it, only to have it revealed to be another Tailo. Well, we had it before, but we could use it for another. It was our first encounter. So once again, smash, grab, and Tailo was added to the team. To be renamed Spitor. I'll let you decide why Swallow will be named Spitor. Petalburg Woods was the next stop, where we found another Wiggler in the grass. That Wiggler turned out to be something I've not seen before. A Slacking, or a Slackoff rather. Slacking is the involved form. It's not a great one, but we smashed it, grabbed it as usual, And since it's a Pokemon that apparently lasers around 24 hours of the day, I felt I knew the perfect name for it. And that would be My Ideal Life. Sadly, My Ideal Life would not have much time with the party because, well, they laser out half of the time. Not ideal in a fight. Then next we get out of Petalburg Wood and we go and find something in the little forest behind it. And first we go to Wurmple, which we obviously skip because we already have it. And then we ran into Zigzagoon. I did not realize, but that little area behind Petalburg Woods is actually also Route 104. So technically we should not have been allowed to catch anything here. Oh well, it's probably won't matter too much in the end. It's too big to change now. But little Snafu on my side. And the Zigzagoon would be named Long Schlong, though he has never left the computer PC box so far. Speaking of Zigzagoons, then we ran into this lady, Psycho Lady, on the way there with a fight who had a Zigzagoon. Fairly well leveled Zigzagoon, which we thought would be no trouble, but turned out to be a fair bit of trouble for their boss bitch. She was already hurt, got hit pretty badly. Her defense is lowered, so figured potion would save her from this one hit point situation. But then just a straight tackle just knocks her entire hit points gone. So our first casualty was Boss Bitch. She will be missed, we'll see her potential. In the next fight after that, we thought we got Butty's face to level 10, which caused it to evolve. And Butty's face became its final proper form of Beautyfly, thus becoming the inheritor of the legacy of Butterface. Very good, very appropriate, and yes, I underestimated its power. Then on Route 116, we ran into the grass and ran into a Whismur. I did not even know these things spawned outside of the little dark cave where all the Whismurs are. But since this was our first thing, well, we had to catch it. So that's Whismur was what I wanted, but that means that there's nothing for us to catch so far in the Whismur caves. Well, that'll open up some interesting events for later. Since you already went with I figured now we go with face. With the team trained up to level 12 or higher, it was time to face off against our first gym again, the Rock Gym. We had, we had a nice water type and Skipper T, and we had She-Nut to possibly do grass type, though he didn't have much grass type moves yet. But first, Skipper T faced off against Roxanne's Pokemon and thoroughly wiped the floor with them. Water Gun did a lot of work in these fights. So Geodude went down quick, and Nosepass went down slightly slower, but still without much resistance. So one gym down. In a random fight outside of town after the gym, She-Nut finally grew to level 14, unleashing her next level of evolution, and finally getting a form in which she can actually use any grass type moves, and so she's finally useful for what she is supposed to be used for. On to Dewford Island, where we got the old rod and headed to Route 107 to fish. As expected with the old rod, we got a Magikarp. Sadly, it's not a level 15 Magikarp like the last playthrough, but only a level 10 one. This one will require a bit more leveling. Well, I was feeling mythologically inspired with this Magikarp, so I named her Umberlee, after the bitch queen of the sea in the Forgotten Realms. Sea god and all that, yes, sea goddess. Time to take on the Dufort Fighting Gym, where we put up Spitor as a flying type in the lead for this challenge. Spitor did well. He went past the first few trainers, but then tragedy struck. For the next challenge, I have one of our favorite Pokemon, a Mudshot, the cruel killer of Trico and Nuzlock in the previous playthrough. And of course, as is to be expected once again, this Machop pulls another bullshit critical strike slow sweep and kills Spitor in one hit. I'm really starting to hate these Machop Pokemon. So from this point onward, we had to let His Face take over for the sweeping, and thankfully His Face proved once again his power and reliability, and made short work of almost all the Pokemon that stood in our way between us and Brawly, the gym leader. Honestly, Brawly turned out to be quite a pushover. Really, his Machop went down in one gust, and the second Pokemon he had, whose name I will not even try to pronounce, was quite a pushover and went down in like 2 or 3. There wasn't much of a threat to His Face so far. I would maybe be worried if there was a threat to His Face. But oh well, another gym batch ours. Then we headed to where the massacre took place, Slateport. We avoided that deathly beach and went straight through route 110, where we encountered an Electrike after avoiding the Plusle Minor or whatever it was. I like Electrike, so I was happy to catch another one swiftly. Since we got another lady Electrike, I figured, and his head reminded me, her head reminded me of, well, ladies' playthings. I called him her love buzzer. We trained our team up to level 15, then went back to Slateboard Beach for revenge. We first hit the first Staler with a Machop. I don't think this is the one that actually killed us in the previous, killed Trico in the previous run, but he still had to die. But His Face took vengeance from beyond the grave, or was it her face? Who knows? Vengeance! Then on to the second drunken sailor, who was, I think, actually responsible for the death of Trico, Ricardo, and Hard Nut in the previous incarnation. And yes, his Wingull went down, and his Machop went down in a similar humiliating fashion. Vengeance! Once that was secured, we went on to the Slateport Museum and handed over those parts. And of course, that's when Team Magma shows up, and we need to proceed to kick their asses, which we did quite easily. Kipter T took the lead in most of this, since the Numa were fire ground types. They were easy pickings for the water type. And when Kipter T had grown to level 16, he evolved into his new Crater T-Force form. And it was, well, it's something. I guess he'll have an awkward in-between teenager face. Let's put it down like that. Awkward teenager face. It happens to everyone. Sadly, then I ran out of this space to record, but there was only 2 fights left. The one with the Plusle Maniac woman that killed both 2 of my birds, and May. I'm happy to report that I slaughtered all their minions. So now we're back where we started, in a new incarnation. Let's see how I do this time.